Hello there everybody, welcome back to the channel. Dodgy Gamer here, bringing you again something a little bit different today as we take a look at Passion for FM's next gen database. A chance for you to look at the Wonder Kids of tomorrow, today. Man, that sounded a bit cheesy, but anyway, before we get into it, a quick reminder to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, get the bell on for notifications. Really helps the channel grow and helps me know that this is the kind of content you're interested in, so thanks in advance. So what is the next gen database? Well, Espen over at Passion for FM has been hard at work modifying the FM21 database to add in some young talents that are hotly tipped to become Wonder Kids in the future. These are players that are not currently in Football Manager 2021, but may well be added to Football Manager 2022, just as Youssoufa Moukoko was added in last year. We are talking about players like Kaide Gordon of Liverpool and Angelo Gabriel, tipped to be one of Brazil's future stars. So Espen has done the research to create these potential FM22 Wonder Kids for you to have a look at now in FM21. In this video, we're going to take a look at 8 of the brightest potential talents. We'll check out their profiles at the start of the game and 5 years into the future. And if you want to download the next gen database, head over to passion4fm.com. The link's down in the description where you will find a comprehensive overview of all the players added. Over here you can see the players we will be looking at today, and if you check out the play bar or the links in the description, you'll find individual chapters if you want to skip ahead to a specific player. I've also pinned a comment with some of the other names that have been added to the database, so go down to the comments and leave a like on the name of any players that you'd like to see me feature in a potential follow-up video. But that's enough intro spiel from me. Time to get into the game and look at our FM22 potential Wonder Kids. So we start with a name I'm sure many of you may be familiar with already, Angelo Gabriel. Brazilian, he starts off at Santos. Now you can see here, obviously with this being FM21, this is set to July 2020 when we begin. So he's in here as a 15-year-old. But what we're going to do here is we'll take a look at the initial profile, and then I've got this save holiday up to 2025, and we'll see, what they've done by their late teens, early 20s, that kind of time when these players start to come to the fore, make moves to bigger clubs, start to pick up international caps and things like that. So as you can see here, we've got a decent beginning with the physical stats. It's got that pace and acceleration that's going to be important for a kind of diminutive winger, I guess. These days, 173 centimeters counts as diminutive. He's got the flair of the Brazilian, so it'll be interesting to see what he's like in 2025. So here we are, June 2025, and we see he's now at Arsenal, valued at 37 million, and we can see those physical stats straight away jump out. We've got a lot more in the green there. That acceleration and pace has gone up to super speed levels. He's got the Wonder Kid description. He's picked up some extra traits we see related. You could trying tricks, so that flair's gone up a little bit. I mean, there's still a bit of development to do on the technical side of his game. He's grown a couple of centimeters as well. And he's been appearing for the Brazilian youth teams. If we have a look at his career stats, we see then he basically did 2 full seasons at Santos. The second season there, playing 50 games, because of course down in Brazil there's a potential to play a lot of games with the regional championships plus the national championship. 16 million transfer to Arsenal. Took him a season and a half to settle in, but this most recent season he's been playing very regularly. No continental football, so the game's entirely realistic, even with Gabriel's presence. So still some way to go in his development, but certainly a promising start. So on now to Kaide Gordon. So again, we're back in 2020. Already at Liverpool. Of course, this transfer, I think, happened January transfer window in 2021. But much like the updates with FM, when these transfers happen at a later date, it's in here at the start of the game. So on a youth contract at Liverpool. So again, we've got a winger, left-footed, so the potential to play as an inside forward. While there's no green jump-out attributes, we do have that natural fitness of 15. We do have plenty of yellows here on the mental and technical side, so plenty of opportunity here for development. So here we are, 5 years on. Kaide Gordon is now 20 years old, still at Liverpool, got quite a high value now. He's listed as a squad player. Also noted as a wonder kid, and we do see some of those greens now. Natural fitness has gone up, the acceleration is there, agility too. He's developed some flair. His vision has increased a lot as well. Still some work to do on the technical side, but of course, given his age, that's only to be expected. So we see here, made a handful of appearances for Liverpool in the 2022-23 season, and then had a loan season at Norwich in the Championship, played almost every game there. Looks like he had quite an impact with 8 goals and 8 assists across the season, and now back at Liverpool, semi-regular, well, squad member, I guess, in this most recent season, but the potential's definitely there. And we see he's picked up some trophies already, so had enough appearances to be given a Premier League winners medal in 2023 and then a Championship winner with Norwich in 2024. So next up from our Next Gen database is Luca Romero. So this is an Argentinian-Mexican dual national, that will be important later, who has just moved in real life to Lazio. Again, we're looking at an attacking player here, one with high natural fitness, probably needs to work on his speed and his strength quite a bit. A decent basis on the technical side to be a creative attacking midfielder. So let's see how his career pans out 5 years down the line. Now, as you will probably know if you're familiar with my channel, I have a bit of a thing for international management, and that's why I wanted to highlight Luca Romero. We can see he switched allegiance. He's gone from Argentinian now to Mexican, and already at the age of 20, he's picked up 20 caps. Still at Lazio, and we see some development. He's picked up a trait to run with the ball through the centre. Interestingly, his goalkeeper rating has gone up. I'm not sure why that would be, but we can see those physical stats developing. The strength has started to go up as well. He's obviously starting to hit the weights in the gym, and we're getting a lot of development on the technical and mental side as well. I think he's someone who I would like to be playing as an advanced playmaker. We see he's worked the loan system quite a lot, so Lazio have sent him out to Crotone and Salernitana in Serie B. Sorry for butchering the pronunciations there, but then he's gone international. He's gone to Vitória Guimarães in Portugal and to Lens in France, and you can see there he's played quite a few games in the most recent season, 30 starts in League One, so in one of Europe's top leagues. So milestones-wise, we see he was able to help Crotone get promotion, won an under-23 medal with Vitória Guimarães. So with Mexico, made his debut in 2023, immediately picked up an international medal, winning the North American Gold Cup, and has recently picked up his first goal for his country as well, so making great strides on the international stage. We can see perhaps, though, that he's a little bit injury-prone. 3 major injuries in the last 3 years. Nothing that's kept him out for longer than a couple of months, but perhaps a sign that he might be a little bit injury-prone. Now, we also have something of a Dutch contingent in this next-gen database. So amongst the top performers, the top 8 performers I've picked out here, this is the first of 3 Dutch players I'm going to show you. This is Julian Rijkhoff. Now, interesting here that although he's trained at Ajax, he starts the game listed as available on a free transfer with quite a few clubs, or most of the Premier League's big boys, and then a couple of Dutch clubs after him as well. And that initial description of promising striker fits, I think. So obviously we're looking at finishing. I mean, mentally, he seems to have a good base to be starting on. Might want to see a bit more bravery. The teamwork and work rate's a bit low, but then if he's going to be a poacher-style goal scorer, that's not necessarily crucial. Fairly tall and with some solid starting physical stats. Be interesting to see how he progresses when we check in 2025. Okay, wow, here we see quite significant improvements across the board. Those technicals have improved greatly. He's finishing now up to 14. First touch has developed a lot as well. Technique is up also. He's working on those mental stats too. The teamwork and work rate are into double figures, which is a positive sign. But physically, he's, come on, leaps and bounds. He's picked up a lot of pace. He is going to be one tricky striker to handle. He's got that wonder kid status, and he's played for the Dutch national team, 3 caps and 3 goals. So he's off to a flying start there. He's now moved to PSV and is classed as one of their star players. So if we have a look at his career stats, as we said, he's had this kind of free agent status at the start of the game, but seemed to then move on to PSV, spent a couple of seasons playing in their youth team in the 2nd tier, and then worked his way in, had to graft a bit to get into the first team, but then this most recent season, 34 appearances, which I believe would make him ever present in the Dutch league, and 14 goals. Look at the average ratings. Every season, bar his first one, ratings of over 7. And milestones-wise, we can see that he's won things at youth level with the Dutch national team, with the under-19s, won a Dutch Cup with PSV, and he scored on his debut against Turkey for the national team. So obviously this was the game where he would have made his debut, beating Turkey 2-0 away, and then played in a couple more qualifiers against Latvia and Hungary, adding to his goal totals there. So I would say, based on this, Rijkhoff looks like he's got a big career ahead of him. Would be interesting to see in the future where he ends up. Okay, so our next Dutch player up, Amarucho van Axel Dongen. That is going to be a nightmare for shirt printers, wherever he ends up. Resolute personality, tries tricks, got a bit of flair there, high determination and work rate as well. Looks like someone who could be a creative force in the midfield. Definitely some work to do on the technical side, though the finishing of 11, I would be tempted to look at making him some kind of inside forward or shadow striker. Decent start in physical stats, but work to do, particularly on the strength side. I'd like to see a bit more pace as well, so let's see if he picks that up over the next 5 years. Well, here we see Amarucho still at Ajax, but wanted. Who wants him? Everton, Leicester, Barcelona, Real Madrid. He's now classed as a wonder kid. He's developed those physical attributes very nicely. He's also done quite a bit of work on the technical side. We can see he's developed particularly his first touch and passing, so this kind of creative midfield role that I was talking about. We can see high determination and flair as well, but the vision, the work rate, off the ball, and anticipation, that's all there. So definitely someone on his way to stardom. 8 caps for the Dutch team to date. Stayed at Ajax the entire time, couple of seasons in Young Ajax, and then in the last 3 seasons we can see he's been a regular in the first team. And milestones wise, we have to scroll down to have a look at all of them. So again, he's won stuff at youth level with the Dutch under-19 team. He's then won titles already with Ajax, 3 in a row in fact, and the double in the most recent season. The future definitely looks bright for Amarucho van Axel Dongen. Did someone say 3 Dutch youngsters? Well, I meant 2. And then we've got a Belgian called Stroikens, who I mistakenly thought was Dutch. Apologies to the nation of Belgium. But here we've got another attacking player, starting out at Anderlecht as a promising attacking midfielder. So you see, obviously, dribbling is a big part of his game. So someone who we'd look to be making things happen in an attacking sense. The finishing is pretty decent start as well at 12. So perhaps someone who could play as a shadow striker or inside forward. I like my attacking players to have pace, and he's starting with 14 on both that and acceleration. Needs some development mentally, so let's skip ahead and see if he got it. Well, we see he's now moved on to Valencia. Classed now as a wonder kid, and definitely on the physical side, that immediately jumps out at me as having improved considerably. So the pace and acceleration has gone up. He's developed his strength as well. He's got very high agility. The mental stats are definitely improving, and we can see work rate and teamwork going up. A bit of flair developing, and with that high dribbling, someone who can then run at defenders and cause a bit of havoc. His finishing is going up as well. He'd perhaps like to see the passing be a bit higher for him to take on a more creative aspect to his game in attacking midfield, but obviously Valencia have seen a lot in this kid, so that transfer came in the most recent season, £37.5 million. Now, 22 appearances, although if we look down, we see only 7 starts, but he'll be working his way into the team. In his last 2 seasons at Anderlecht, he was quite a regular. He's built up a lot of experience. We see he's won the Belgian Cup, and he's won an Olympic gold medal with Belgium as well. So I'd say the future is definitely bright for Mr. Strookens. Okay, on to our second Belgian player. And finally, we get someone a bit more defensive-minded, Noah Mbamba. So starts the game at Club Brugge. And as a defender, we see we've got the right kind of technical stats in place already with the tackling and marking, decent passing, so someone who could perhaps be more of a ball-playing defender. We perhaps want to see teamwork and work rate go a bit higher, leadership as well. But positioning, determination, concentration, that's all there as well. Got a nice, good base for aggression, not too high, but not too low. And physically, starting with a good base as well. 5 years on, still at Club Brugge, but wanted by a number of teams, mainly in England, we can see, but also Ajax and Napoli getting his attention as well. 11 caps for Belgium already, so obviously made his mark, classed as a wonder kid. Physical stats looking really good now, developed that strength, got the jumping reach, heading, perhaps we need to see that go up a bit more to take advantage of his height, but on the mental side we see a lot of improvement here. The concentration is up there, the teamwork perhaps and leadership could still go a bit higher, but the work rate is developing. Positioning as well. Perhaps not so much development here with those key defender skills, tackling and marking, but perhaps with a move to a bigger club, a more competitive league, we're going to see that. So whole time at Club Brugge, spent some time in NXT, but the last 2 seasons he's been a regular, and if we check out his milestones, he was also part of that Belgium gold medal winning squad. With Club Brugge, he's won the Belgian League as well. 2 seasons in a row, in fact, and was a double winner 2 years ago. So I keep saying the future's bright for these guys, but of course it's bright. They're next-gen talents. So far, we've looked at players starting out in Serie A and the Premier League. We've looked at players from countries well known for their youth talent, Holland, Belgium, and Brazil. Now we look at a player starting out in Russia, Sergei Pinyaev. Starting out at Krylia Sovetov Samara. Can play on either wing or up front. Now, definitely, technically, he's got a lot of work to do. Only 2 stats rated in double figures there, finishing and first touch. Now, considering his traits here, runs with ball often, we'd want to see that dribbling get up a bit higher. I'm sure the acceleration and pace are going to improve there as well. Placing shots, well, he's got the decent start with the finishing stat, but again, for that, we want to see composure and some of those mental stats go up as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this guy looks in 5 years. And well, 5 years on, we see he is a wonder kid, and he's moved on from Sovetov. He's now Aston Villa on quite a big contract as well. He's added some traits to his game, running with the ball down the right, cutting inside from the wings. So obviously he's being trained as an inside forward. He can work with either foot, but we are seeing a lot more yellow in his profile now. Nothing here green, nothing standing out like that yet, but the dribbling, which we said needs to improve, it has. Finishing and composure are up as well to help him with placing those shots. We got determination at 15, one of his highest stats, along with acceleration and pace. So we're looking at a player here who can beat other players to those loose balls and who can then maraud the wings, cut inside, cause some havoc in the box. 11 caps and 2 goals for Russia already. So if we have a look at his career stats, so we see he's actually had 1 other move. So starting out at Sovetov in the 2nd tier, he got a loan move to Krasnodar and then a very interesting transfer for a whopping £575. That's his cost so far, so I guess there were some other clauses in there, but then moved up to the Krasnodar first team, got the big money move to Aston Villa. I mean, he's working to establish himself in the first team, shall we say. Only 2 starts so far, but he has scored a goal, though he probably wants to get that average rating up. On the milestone side, yet to win anything at club level, but he has, of course, made his international debut for Russia. He's scored his first goals as well. Injuries-wise, though, he does seem to be struggling at times. He's had a broken toe and a twisted ankle so far that have kept him out for a couple of months each time, and there's been other moderate injuries in there as well. But interesting also to see somebody who's not South American or not Dutch or Belgian making a bit of a splash in the game. And again, I'll repeat myself one more time. It would be interesting to see what this player is like at 25 and 30. So I hope you enjoyed that look at 8 players from the Next Gen database. There are many more in the full database. Remember, you can go to Passion for FM to download that. I think Espen was talking about 60 names, 60 players that he'd added to the database, so plenty for you to discover. Perhaps that's given you a save idea for the remainder of FM21. Or maybe it's given you an idea of some names to watch out for come FM22. And don't forget to drop a like down below on the names of any other players that you want to see me look at in a potential follow-up video. And also let me know in the comments if you'd like to see me go 10 years, 15 years into the future to see how these players further develop. But for now, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. You've liked this video, get the bell on for notifications. Thank you very much for watching this look at the Next Gen database and those potential FM22 Wonder Kids. But for now, I'm Dodgy Gamer. I'll speak to you again soon.